Hey, how's it going? This video is going to be a bit more gritty. I don't have my nice home lighting and whatnot, but I want to jump in and give you guys some valuable, actionable insights about how to redesign a landing page with CRO or conversion rate optimization in mind. So I'm going to use a real client's landing page and go through some real changes that we're going to make on this landing page. And remember, our goal is to get a higher percentage of people to actually convert. So convert a higher number of people that are visitors hitting this page into leads, giving us their email or their contact information. All right, with that in mind, right away, I feel like this area is just being wasted. It's just saying what this thing is. It doesn't explain the benefits. It doesn't explain the end result of using it. And honestly, it's not that clear. So for someone who's not super technical, they wouldn't really understand what this is. And in fact, if this wasn't our client, I wouldn't understand what this is. So what I like to do is I like to dumb it down a bit, simplify it for everyone to understand, even if it is a technical product and even if people searching for it know what this thing is. I like to reiterate that to let people know that they are in the right place. And I also like to talk about the end result rather than just like, hey, this is a yellow banana. I like to talk about the other facts about a yellow banana, like that it can satiate your hunger, they grow on trees, whatever it is. It's just something else rather than what it literally is. So I went ahead and screenshotted the landing page, throwing it in Sketch. You guys can use whatever editor you want to use. Sketch is just my favorite. Then what I do is I just like to delete some of the elements from the hero section and then try to rework it a bit. So instead of saying this is a browser isolation software, I say work securely and remotely in the cloud. Maybe that wording is a little off, securely remotely. I'd probably choose some different words later on, but the point is still there. Like, here is the end result of what this thing does. And then in the subtext, I can go and explain further about exactly what this is. But first, I need to let people know what is the end result of using this rather than just what this is. Now, as I mentioned, I like to reiterate a bit right in the subtext about what does this thing do exactly. So I'm basically just putting it in layman's terms that this zero trust browser isolation software allows companies to provide their team with virtual web browsers, allowing secure work from anywhere. That's the end result, allowing secure work from anywhere. Well, then I just took some of the client's colors and then did a little bit of visual emphasis because I researched the competitors and I found that everyone cares about security around this type of product. So I made sure to include that verbiage and then just highlight it. I was going to use the green up here, but that's going to be the main call to action color. So I don't want to distract from that. And I only want to use this one color for any call to action buttons on this page and just reserve that color for call to actions. Now here is what I mean by that. Basically, the main call to action I want people to take is to book a free demo and get a consultation. I was thinking like, what's a better way to kind of spice up the demo? Because on the demo, people are being consulted to some degree about what are some good setups they could use, what are they currently doing. So it's not just a demo about the product. And not a lot of people just want to book a demo, right? It's not that enticing. But if it's a demo plus consultation, which it is, I think that's more attractive to potential visitors to actually click to opt in. And notice I'm actually doing away with the form. It's just too much too quickly. I'd rather have a button here that they can click and it'll pop up the form. That's what I'm thinking long term. It'll be like a little pop-up modal, but that way the form doesn't distract from the content and I can use that space to actually convince people that we are great and show them some of the reviews and social proof instead of just saying like, give us your information, which is probably going to lead to people bouncing. Now this page does have some social proof, but I'm really not a fan of it. The design looks bad, not even including the boxes I put over the client's information. It's just really not that visually appealing and it's like a widget to pull the reviews, which is, I get it, but let's see if we can make this better. So for this one, I actually stole this from our buddies over at Reply. I mentioned this in a previous video. I just really like how they added social proof right there. So I'm just going to straight up rip it off. Anyway, so I'm going to do something similar. Basically, the reason why I'm trying to put this all the way up front is, again, remember, people are going to look at this and then either decide to scroll or bounce. And a lot of people will just bounce if they feel like they're not in the right place. They feel like this isn't a good software or a good service, whatever it is. So do as much as you can to get them to trust you right here. So we're going to do something like this where it's right underneath the button. I like that because this is the high friction ask, right? Click this button to get a free demo consultation. Right below it, hey, we're good. There's a lot of people reviewing us. We're good at what we do. And then normally what I would do here is I would put customer logos like right below here, right? Of the companies they've worked with. For this industry, however, due to privacy, they don't actually put that information in public. So I've got to get a little bit creative about how I can ramp up the social proof factor. So I'm going to steal one more thing. I'm sorry. After this, I'm done. Okay. Reply has this really cool section. Now this video has turned into a commercial for Reply. They have a really great section where they use the customer's pictures, the review they put on G2, and then the testimonial right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in that just for the designer to get inspiration on the landing page so they get an idea of what we're going for. But before I do that, I know people in this industry are curious about interface. So I'm just going to put a screenshot of the interface right here of the software so they can see that. And then right below, I'm going to put in those reviews right there so that I'm going to go through for it with the idea of like, this is just quick and scrappy. I'm just trying to give the designer some inspiration to go off of rather than to say, hey, make this better. I'm just trying to make sure we can skip a lot of the iteration time and give them the components we really want in this page so that it's going to be optimized for conversions. So quick snapshot, here's what we had before and here's what we have after. So it's already looking much better and clearly articulates what the end result is of working with this software or using the software. Gives you more context around exactly what it does. Big, bright green call to action here, pushing for a consultation, and then some social proof around the stars right below the main friction point, and then some reviews down here as well to give them more social proof that this thing is amazing. Also, this video down here is probably going to be a GIF just playing to give them like a visual idea of what this does. So here this section talks a bit more about what is browser isolation and exactly how this software protects users. I'm actually a big fan of video, so the client has a video explaining what they do. So I was like, okay, let's just get that in there then. Usually I'd put this video up top in the hero section, but it's like a 5-minute explainer and it starts off really slow. I feel like I'm going to lose a lot of people because it's not punchy enough. So for now, I'm just going to put it a little bit further down the page. And for the sake of page speed, I usually never just put a YouTube video embedded on the page itself. I always like to put a thumbnail that when you click, it leads to a light box or a modal pop-up where the video then loads and plays. That way I can get the landing page to load as quickly as possible. It kind of just delays the loading. It doesn't affect those first few seconds when the page is loading. So now that the user knows that they can trust this brand, there's reviews above as well, like telling them how many people on these sites have given us reviews. So what I'm gonna do next is further elaborate on exactly what this is. Even if the viewer knows what this is, I want them to know that they're on the right page. And I'm gonna reiterate a bit in simple terms about like how this software works with like browser isolation and integration. I'm also gonna add supporting text here, and the video will be a better explainer of that. So now, before they even scrolled that much down the page, actually before they've even left the hero section, they know a few things. One, what is the end result of using this product or service? Two, give me more clarification points. Like what is this exactly? Three, how do I take action? 4, can I trust this? 5, what does this look like? 6, can I really trust this? So immediately we convey these points, and I'm going to try to put this all above the fold too, so they don't have to scroll to see it. Even if it only shows like part of the reviews, that's fine. And then later I'm going to say what this is exactly and go more into detail about it. Versus before, it's just saying what this thing is. There's nothing like exciting about that, right? And I can't trust you right away. I don't trust this website. It's just asking for my information, and it's not giving me much to go off of. Like, is this a scam? Is this like a legitimate website? Are you guys a real company? I don't know. I'd have to go research and I'd have to check out the other parts of the page. We want to make it as easy as possible for visitors to trust you. The point is you want to just give them a quick snapshot. Try to do a 3-second test, which I like to do is like, look at the page for 3 seconds, look away. Do you remember what you saw? Do you remember what it was? Can you explain what this is? And can you explain what the call to action was? Just try to like test yourself a little bit. So like right away, I know it's like some kind of cloud remote work software. And I probably should even put the word software in there too as well. Now, of course, I'm going to run this by the client who's the expert in their business. All I'm trying to do is optimize the page to maximize the number of people clicking on book a call and then actually booking the call. So any kind of the nitty gritty details or the finer in the weeds, I'm going to ask the client for because they're the expert in that. I'm the expert in paid ads and CRO. So we leverage both of our knowledge to create a high performing landing page that speaks to the audience properly. Now, the rest of the landing page is important for sure. I think they cover some of the main points. There are some design changes I would do differently, but for now, I really just want to test the hero section because that's where we're going to lose most of people, in my opinion, from the data we see on things like Hotjar and Full Story. We're mostly going to lose people right here. So for this A/B test, we're really just going to test the hero section and leave the rest alone because I want to see if this hero section converts at a higher rate than our old hero section. So that's how I would go about redesigning a landing page. I'm going to send this off to the designer now, and I'm going to run some questions by the client to make sure that this is technically accurate. But I hope you got some value to this video. You got to see a real world example about how we optimize pages and redesign them for conversion rate optimization in mind. I'm Lewis Mudrich, and I actually have another video where I break down a bunch of landing pages. Reply is one of those, and I show you some of the do's and don'ts and best practices when it comes to landing page design for conversion rate optimization. The link for that will be in the description. Feel free to check it out. And if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you on the next video.